Finally, YouTube was always tripping on a player. All right. Hello. Hey, y'all. Y'all know I'm big on incense. So I have some incense that I actually picked up from a shop that I found in the mall the other day while I was out shopping. So you can go back and watch my Spend the Day with Me video and you'll see everything that I found. All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button so that way you can get more videos like this. And also when it's just tea time, when it's time to just chat, okay? But that way you can stay up to date and current on all news Danielle, period. I hope y'all doing okay this morning. Today we're going to talk manifestation, creating a life that you want, bringing that shit from the 5D into the 3D, the quantum field into the 3D. Let's talk. Okay. So again, I got notes because I have to stay on topic because we're not just chit-chatting today. Let me see. Let me pull it up. I'm in a really good mood now. All right. Let's see if this is the one that I want. All right. Let's talk manifestation. All right. So what is manifestation, right? Manifestation is taking a thought, a desire, and bringing that shit into the real. Taking your thought and having it manifest into your life. So whatever that looks like for you, right? 1 second, gotta finish my coffee. We're not gonna get into what the world says about manifestation versus, what the church says about manifestation. That's not a topic that conversation I want to have. But what I will do is I'll take scripture that I know that's planted inside of me, and we'll correlate it to what we're about to learn here. We're learning together, okay? All right, so let's talk manifestation. Let's go. So to bring what you want from the quantum field into the matter field or the 3D field, you need to align your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions in a way that tunes you to the frequency of your desired outcome. So let's pause. For the past few years, and I'm just sharing this now, I've actually been working on myself mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially for like the past 9 years. I've always been working on myself. I've always had a desire to become something better than what I was currently living. But over the past years, I have been finding things that sat well with me, that helped me to bring the things that I desire, whether it was being emotionally mature, or financially stable, or just whatever it is, peaceful, disciplined. I have been working actively to bring that into experience. So with that being said, Dr. Joe Dispenza, I don't know if you guys know about him, but he is absolutely phenomenal. And this is basically where I am pulling the information that he talks about, that he teaches. He does seminars all over the world. He has a few books. There's 2 that I'll bring up. But he's just, he is someone who, and you can actually find him on YouTube, but he is someone who teaches this from a science standpoint, from a physics standpoint. Okay, so this is where my information is coming from. Okay, it's not just coming. I'm not just pulling it out my ass. It's coming from what I've learned, but also it's backed by science. Okay, don't ask me, all the technical science aspects. If you want to know that, go look that shit up yourself and then come back and teach me. Give me the information. Each one teach one. But here we're going to talk about what I've learned thus far and what I am currently learning. Okay. And this is not just about manifestation. He don't just talk about manifestation. He talk about changing your life. Literally changing your life by just your thoughts alone and just by your feelings alone. You can alter your DNA. You can alter your brain waves, and you can actually become a brand new person. So that way he talks about how he has in his seminars, so far he has done like 7-day seminars. He started out with doing like a weekend seminars. And then I was so blown away yesterday by another program that I watched. But he talked about how he started out with doing weekend seminars, and then it went to like a few days, and then it just started increasing because he started seeing evidence of how the thoughts and how feelings can pretty much create new brain pathways, like neuroplasticity, and can pretty much change your life. You know what I mean? So this is where I kind of have been getting my information from. Okay. So Dr. Joe Dispenza describes this process as collapsing a potential from the quantum field into the physical by becoming energetically and emotionally aligned to it. Okay. So let's talk. What is the quantum field? Because if you ask me, if it's not on paper, or if it wasn't on paper before, I probably wouldn't have been able to explain it to you, right? And if you don't know, if you've never heard of it before, you don't know, right? So let's talk. The quantum field is often referred to as a field of infinite possibilities. It is a foundational concept in quantum physics. It is an invisible universal energy field that exists everywhere, connecting all things in the universe at a subatomic level. It is the space where matter, energy, and consciousness come together. Okay. So again, we're just gonna kind of give you the information right now about quantum field. Okay. So characteristics of the quantum field: infinite possibilities. So the quantum field contains all potential outcomes and realities, where everything for what can exist. Wait, because I'm tripping. The quantum field contains all potential outcomes and realities. Every possibility for what can exist already exists in this field, right? So the reality that you want, it already exists. The life that you want already exists in this field. So how do you get there, right? That's what we're going to talk about today. So energy as the basis of reality. So at the most fundamental level, everything in the universe is energy. Atoms. Atoms are the building block of matter. And atoms are mostly empty spaces filled with energy vibrating at different frequencies, right? So particles in the quantum field can influence each other instantaneously, regardless of the distance that is between them, which is why you can actually be in one part of the world and somebody that you know or even may not know be in a different part of the world, and you can feel that person's energy, and you can think about somebody and that person spontaneously call you. That's what that is, right? So this interconnectedness suggests that the universe is deeply unified. There's no difference between you and what you want. There's no difference between you and the person that you admire, right? Because we're all connected in a sense. All right, so the act of observing and focusing attention influences the behavior of particles in the quantum field, collapsing them from the state of potential into a specific outcome. This highlights the power of intention and attention in shaping reality. The quantum field exists beyond the constraints of time and space. It operates in the eternal now, where all possibilities exist simultaneously. So, like I said, the reality that you want, the life that you absolutely want already exists. You just got to figure out how to get there. All right, so now we're going to talk about how to get there. So here's, let's see. So the first step into manifesting the life that you want is you want to define a clear intention. What is it that you want? The quantum field responds to your thoughts and your intentions, but your thoughts and intentions need to be really specific, right? Because you can just say, I want a lot of money. Well, how much money do you want, right? You can just say, I want a man to come into my life, but that man can be an abuser, a cheater, a misuser, or whatever the case may be. So you really have to be specific on what it is that you want, or what it is that you try to manifest. So you can write down exactly what you want to manifest, including the details of how it looks, how it feels is very important. You have to feel it before you can experience it. That energy from the feeling is what's going to actually navigate it and bring it into your life. Okay. So write down exactly what you want, including the details of how it look and how it feel and how it's going to impact your life. Focus on one thing at a time. Otherwise, your energy is going to be scattered. Okay. This is the most important part, I feel, is cultivating your emotions towards the thing that you actually want. So your emotions are the energy that communicates to the quantum field, the space of infinite possibilities, what you want. So elevated emotions like love, gratitude is big. You have to be thankful for what it is that you want before you actually receive it. And then those are joy. So love, gratitude, and joy are powerful signals that kind of communicates to the quantum field what it is that you want. So how do you do this, right? How do you do this? What you do is you close your eyes and you imagine that your intentions have already been realized, have already been recognized. It's all that you are already living in your desired field, into your desired outcome. And then you want to feel the gratitude and the excitement and happiness that you would experience if what you wanted was in your now, right? So which it kind of coincides with the clip that I heard Will Smith say. He said you pretty much have to decide what it is that you want and then work backwards to get there, right? He said that even like playing chess or beating, you got to go look it up, the chess master, or even like beating somebody at chess. You have to physically see yourself where it is that you want to be, and then work backwards to get there. A lot of the times, what Joe Dispenza tells us is that a lot of the times, people wait until they get the thing that they want in order to feel the gratitude. But that's backwards. That's when it asks backwards. You have to be grateful and feel the emotion of what it is that you want. So whether you want a new car, whether you want, you want to be a mother and give birth, whether you want to a new job or move out of state, regardless to what it is, you have to feel the joy of what it is that you want. And you have to be grateful for that thing as if it has already happened first. And then the universe will work its way and move things out of the way in order for you to experience what it is that you experience. Now that's Bible, because in the Bible it says, believe those things that be not as though they are. That's manifestation. I don't care. Fight me. Nuck if you buck. Okay? I don't care what nobody say. That's Bible. Faith is the absence of things hoped for, but the presence of things. Wait, faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the presence of things not seen, right? So you hoping to have faith in something is to hope that it happens, even though, or to know that it's already happened, even though it hasn't happened yet, right? So, and then what you also want to do is you want to stay in this elevated emotion during like your meditation and throughout the day. One of the things that he talked about is one, starting your day before you do anything, before you hop on your phone, before you think about your problems, before them kids get to you, before you get to think about all the tasks that you need to do throughout the day, sit in your bed, sit quiet, sit up, don't lay down because you're not going to sleep, and sit in that space. And it's like the first 45 minutes after you wake up, because the first 45 minutes is like really essential. Your mind and your brain is still in the theta space. So that allows you to manifest, or it allows your subconscious, like for you to plant the seeds into that subconscious mind, or into that into the part of your mind that will actually bring these things to you. Okay, so you sit in that space for the first 45 minutes. Don't let nothing or anyone interrupt your day. Even if you got to put that shit on do not disturb, put your phone on do not disturb. I'm a queen of do not disturb. And you give thanks. One, you find things that you're thankful for, right? I thank God that I woke up this morning. I thank God that my kids woke up this morning. I thank God that I have this. I thank God that be thankful for the things that you already have in the physical, right? And the things for the seeds that you planted, right? Because it's already done. So you can give thanks for it because you know that it's already done. So, and you have to stay in that. So you can't give that first part of your day, you can't give gratitude the first part of that day, and then for the rest of the 24 hours, so for the 23 hours, you being bitter, you talking about people, you spreading negativity, you are wishing bad on people, you are wishing evil, you hope somebody fail, you hope somebody die. You can't spend that first part of your day being grateful and then go back into that old mindset or that old reality of what you created, because at the end of the day you created that life, right? First of all, and second of all, at the end of the day, whatever you put out you get back. Whatever you put out you get back. So even if you think that don't nobody know that you talking down, or you talking bad, or you putting negative energy out, or you secretly wish somebody don't make it, even though, you know what I'm saying, you secretly wish bad on somebody, you secretly wish they get hurt, baby, that's karma. It's law. It's gonna come back to you. So what you put out is what you get. It's karma. You reap what you sow. That's Bible. Okay, hold on, let's see. So you want to stay in that elevated emotion, and stay in that elevated emotional state during your meditations and throughout the day. Okay, that's key. Another thing that you can do is you can visualize your desired reality. Why do you want to do this? Visualization connects your mind to the quantum field, creating a mental blueprint of your future, whatever that looks like for you, right? So, but you have to see it. See yourself carrying out that task. See yourself living that life. Dreams are dreams for a reason, baby. The dream state is the 5D, right? What we live right now is 3D. When I tell you that your dreams can become reality, that's a fact. as evidenced by I'm living in Florida now, right? So you have to visualize and feel, because the feeling is the part. You have to feel that shit in an elevated emotion, and that will bring your desires to you, okay? But visualize it. Visualize whatever that looks like. If you see yourself with a certain amount of money in the bank, you got to see that money in the bank. That means if you got to create a vision board, if you got to put that shit on your vision board, do that, sis. So during your meditation, you got to picture yourself in your future, in the future you desire. You got to see it, you got to hear it, and you got to feel every detail as if it is happening now. And you got to repeat this regularly to strengthen the neural pathways and emotional connections. So that way, you can bring about that desire, right? And you got to stay connected to your future reality, because again, it already exists in the quantum field. Okay? Live as your future self. You have to live as your future self. Why do you want to do this? You want to do this because in order to bring your vision into the 3D space, you must embody that energy of already being. You have to embody that energy as a matter of fact, as who you are. I heard years ago, I actually got it tattooed on me because it hit me like a ton of bricks. And like I said, I have always been working to be connected to who I know that I'm supposed to be, right? Shit, from a young age, if you ask me. I heard a saying years ago, visualize your highest self and then show up as that. Visualize your higher self. And then if you're a woman, visualize your higher self and show up as her. If you're a man, you visualize your highest self and you show up as him. Even J. Cole said, whatever vision you have in your mind, you got to think it's the best outcome, the best part of you, the highest version of you. And then once you get that vision in your mind, go bigger, right? But you also have to live as that as well. How do you do this? You ask yourself, how would that person think? How would that person feel? How would that person act? And then how would that person live their day to day, right? If your dream had come to pass, or if you were living in the dream that you desire to live in now. If your dreams had come true, how would Danielle be? So I have to ask myself consciously every day on a consistent basis, how would the highest self, or how would the person that Danielle was trying to come, what's her daily routine look like, right? So now Danielle get up in the morning and she sit in her bed for the first 45 minutes, because I know that that's essential. My phone, I don't, it's on do not disturb. Hey, mama. My phone is on do not disturb. And I sit in that, and for the first 45 minutes, because your brain is in the theta state, which is like the manifestation state, it's like the hypnosis state, is where you can kind of implant, your brain is more subjectable, to the suggestions that you're trying to implant into, your reality. So for me, I know that the first 45 minutes for me is vital. So I sit for the first 45 minutes and I give gratitude for the things that I already have. And so whatever that looked like, we talked about that. So I'm grateful for, having food on the table. I'm grateful for my bills being paid on time. I'm grateful for, I woke up today. I'm grateful for, my kids, they woke up today. I'm grateful for the clothes that I'm able to, no matter how small it is, I'm grateful for the coffee that I was able to drink today. And then once you start to feel that build in your heart space, now I can create, right? Because now I have entered into that quantum field that we talked about. And now I can create the life that I want, right? So now I can start implanting, okay, this is the goal that I want, right? This is the weight goal that I want. This is the the dream life that I want. You can start implanting those seeds because again, your brain is going to be more susceptible to receiving what it is that you're suggesting, right? Okay. So again, once you do that, start to ask yourself, how would you think? How would you feel? How would that person act if your dream life, if you were living in your dream life now? Because one thing you do know, and I know, is that me being my old self is not gonna allow, I can't go into the new life that I want as my old self, right? There's some things in me that's gotta go. There's some things in me that's gotta die. And one of the things that he said yesterday when I was listening to listening to his interview yesterday, he mentioned you literally have to die to your old self. You literally have to lose your mind because your mind is what created your current reality. You literally have to lose your mind in order to build a new one, right? And our personal reality is made up, your personality creates your personal reality, right? So your environment, everything that you've experienced, your traumas, the familial baggage that got passed down from generation and generation and generation, the money mindset, everything, it created who you are, but a lot of that shit was passed down, right? It's not even yours to have. It's not even what you would want for yourself. And it's not even, and your family don't know. It's not even what they would want for you. Most of them, let's be real. Not everybody wish you the best. However, you know what I mean? So you literally have to die to your old self. You literally have to get rid of them old limiting beliefs. The old mindset, right? The lack, stuff like that, because it don't serve you at the end of the day. And if it did serve you, you would be happy in the life that you're living. And because you're watching this video, obviously you're not happy with your current life, right? So that's why you're here. And that's why you're going to do research after you leave here. And that's why you're going to educate yourself after you leave here to find out more about how you can create the life that you desire. Okay. So you have to start adapting those behaviors, those emotions, and those attitudes now. You have to actually become who it is that you want to be now, right? So this alignment helps you to match the frequency of your desired outcome. Frequency is everything. Energy is everything. That everything is made up of energy and vibration. Every single thing, right? Okay. Another thing you have to do is you have to release those old limiting beliefs. I can only have a certain amount of money if I hit the lottery. That is a limiting belief, baby. Get rid of it. That is a limiting belief, girl. Why? Why do you want to do that? Because old patterns and doubts and fears keep you stuck in your current reality and prevent new potentials from manifesting. I'll be happy when. No, sis, be happy now. Let's see, when I lose this much weight, every man gonna want me. No, sis, because if your attitude is jacked up, if your energy not right, you're gonna continue to attract the same kind of man, the liar, cheater, beater, whatever the case may be, right? So how do you get rid of the old limiting beliefs, right? You want to identify the beliefs that conflict with your current goals. I'm not good enough, or this not going to work for me, or I can't have the life I desire, or I'll only be as good as. That's a limiting belief. That's not yours. Those are things that people told you. Those are things that your environment showed you. Those are not true. It's not true. You have to challenge the beliefs, and you have to replace them with empowering ones. That's where affirmations come in. But one of the things you have to do when you do those affirmations, you can't just be like, I'll have $10 million. Like, no, you gotta feel that shit. I am I am a successful entrepreneur. You have to feel that. I am a great mother. You have to feel that I am, a bomb at whatever your affirmation is, sis, but you got to add feeling to that too. Otherwise, it's just verbiage. Okay. So again, you have to challenge these beliefs and you have to replace them with empowering ones. Okay. That's where your affirmations come in. I am deserving and I am capable. It is my birthright to have this. And then you have to use affirmations and self-awareness practices to rewrite your mental narrative. You have to literally be delusional, and then don't share it with everybody either, because then you have people who'll be like, oh, girl, this girl over here losing her mind. Yes, I am losing my mind. Thank you so much for saying that, because that means that I am shifting into a new reality. That means that you see exactly who I'm trying to be. People can see who you are before you see who you are. It's just something, my kids told me years ago that if I didn't have kids, that I would be a millionaire. And I told them it's because of them that the drive is the way it is. You know what I mean? Like I don't see it that way, but they see that. I just share that because they see that. People see who you are before you can see who you are. That's why people have come into your life to speak against who you are, to discourage you from being, or to go after who you are, or who you know that you can become, or your highest self. Again, that's where those beliefs are not yours. They were passed down and they were spoken over you, right? So, you have to literally rewrite your mental narrative. You have to really pay attention to what you're telling yourself every day. Damn, that's not going to work. No, be conscious of that thought that you just had, right? Be conscious of the thought that you just had. Become aware that it's there. Ask yourself, why is it there? Do you believe it? If you don't believe it, replace it with something else, right? Replace it with something, you know what? I am actively working towards blah, blah, blah. Or money comes to you, however, whatever. One of the things that I learned from I can't remember his name right now. Anyway, because I've been on my self-discovery journey for a while, the book Think and Grow Rich is also another good book that I suggest that people go out and get. But also, all of this that I'm telling you is literally, even that book is literally built on top of information, on top of information, on top of information, right? So whatever affirmation that serves you, that works for you, you have to use that, and you have to literally have to say it and think it and believe it and feel it in order for it to start to rewire the neural pathways in your brain, right? Neuroplasticity, go look it up. Fight me, sis. Okay, and then you have to trust and surrender. Why do you have to do this? Because over controlling or doubting the process blocks the quantum field's flow. It's not your job and it's not your business to worry about how it's going to happen. The universe will literally move stuff and people out the way in order for you to have the desire that you want. And you won't even know why this person started acting funny. You won't even know why this person moved the way they moved. They just did. It ain't got shit to do with you and everything to do with them, but it was destined to happen. You know what I'm saying? Or why this person stopped calling you, or why this person suddenly asked for a divorce. You don't know why. You know, it's not your business to know why. Just know, and I know, a lot of the times when we're emotionally attached to certain things, people, places, time, and items and things like that, we get attached and we don't really want to let it go. You have to learn to let people go in peace, right? Surrender to all things, God. Surrender to the path that you are on. Over controlling and doubting the process blocks the quantum field. You have to trust. Because trust allows the energy to materialize on its own time. Okay. How do you do this? Focus on what you want and why it excites you. Yes. But you have to detach from how and when it's going to happen. You can't force it. Listen, I'm 40, and yes, hard to believe. I look good for 40, I know. Yeah, see that? My skin is going through a detox. I will probably do a video about what I've been doing later because I really like to move that way. But right now, the skin is the largest part of your body. So my skin is going through a detox right now, right? It's the largest organ of the body, sorry. But it's going through a detox right now. However, let me stay focused. Sorry. I love me some me. You have to detach from how it's going to happen. That's not your business, right? That's not your business. Like I said, if you are like me and you're 40 plus, or you're 30 plus, or even like you're 20 plus, that means that from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and on up until the age that you are now, especially if you are just starting today, that is your limiting beliefs and unconscious thinking and unconscious beliefs and just trauma stored in your DNA. From years on years and years and years of being who you were. That shit is not it's not going to change overnight, baby. You have to trust the process, and you gotta give it time in order for your life to change. So that way, not only you can see the manifestations, you will see the manifestations, you will see, the signs and synchronicities as well. But you have to give the universe, God, whoever it is the quantum field, you have to give it enough time to reroute the shit and the energy, enough time to build the life that you want. Even like the neural pathways in the brain. If your brain is a certain structure, right? And I mean, these are neurosurgeons that Dr. Joe Dispenza have on his team, in speech pathology, language profession, pathologies, and doctors and whatnot. Sorry if I'm not getting it right, if I didn't say that right. People of that have degrees, who are in medicine, who are actually watching people become brand new people because the neural pathways in their brains have changed, right? But if your brain has a certain structure and you're just starting, to rearrange your life and to speak, over your life and to change, your genetic makeup by changing, how you live your life to create the life that you want, it's not gonna happen overnight. It's just not. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. Where was I? Okay, so stay open to unexpected opportunities and trust that the universe is orchestrating events in your favor. You can literally manipulate energy. You can literally manipulate experience. I wouldn't do it, to harm anybody, because karma. But you can literally create the life that you want. You can literally think and grow rich. Okay. Another thing that you can do is match your energy to your intention. Why do you want to do this? You want to do this because in order to bring the quantum possibility into reality, your energetic frequency must match the desired outcome. You have to become it energetically before you can have it manifest physically into your life. Okay. Um, how do you do this? You have to avoid, you have to avoid, you have to avoid focusing on what your current reality state is. That's not to say ignore it, but it's saying the feeling. So because your bank account might say negative blah blah blah, you can't you can't put the feeling there, because all that's going to do is create more of what you don't want, right? So avoid feelings of lack, avoid feelings of frustration, avoid feelings of impatience. These are signals that you're not in alignment. You want to, and if you do, because here's the thing, and here's one of the things that he say, especially when you become conscious, right? Especially when you're meditating, you have an old program that in your mind that has been running for years. So it's only right that when you're in the process of creating a new program that you want to have manifest into your life, that old program is going to be like, hey, but what about me? What about me? That's like an ex that you know what I mean? It's like an ex lover, an ex friend, or whoever it is. When you are when you are trying to create something new in your life, that ex is going to show up like, remember the times we had? Remember, I was always there for you. I remember where you came from. You know what I mean? It's going to try to remind you of what you used to be. Slap that shit up out of there and tell that bitch you a whole new person. We not doing that. So what about who I used to be? Look at who I am now, okay? Sorry, excuse my language. But in doing that, you have to, so what I say all that to say, don't get frustrated. Don't get frustrated when you have a moment of, you know, when that old reality tries to remind you of who you used to be, or when that old reality tries to remind you of where you come from. Okay. What you need to do is continuously check in with your emotions. And you got to shift back to the elevated sense, the elevated state of gratitude, love, and joy if you notice the negativity creeping in, okay? And then also, faith without works is dead. That's Bible, okay? So you have to take inspired action. Why do you need to take inspired action? Because the quantum field requires physical action in order to grow root or anchor the potential of what is already in the quantum field into the 3D space. With that being said, you have to pay attention to your intuitive nudges. People ask me all the time, I could wait to get to this part. People ask me all the time, why did you move to Florida? I don't fucking know. But what I do know is that I was called to Florida. I'm sure you heard, you've watched another live, or a lot before, you would hear me say that I was called to Florida. I don't know why. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know. I wanted to. I wanted to be here. You know what I mean? Like, I could have went anywhere else. I could have went to Texas. My best friend is in Texas. I could have went to Texas and been there with my girl. Like, hey, what's you know what I mean? Like, creating a whole new life there. But that's not where I was called to be. I was called to Florida. You have to pay attention to your intuitive nudges. Listen, that is very important. If you are operating in fear and you're afraid to take that step, then you won't get the life that you desire. You won't get the life that that you're trying to manifest, right? You're telling God, right, that you don't trust that this is available for you. And it's your God-given right to have everything that you desire in your life. Everything that you can imagine. It was a seed that was given to you by God, right? he will give you the desires of your heart, right? So that's an intuitive nudge. That's where that intuitive nudge comes in, because he's leading you the way that you're supposed to be led, to where you're supposed to go, right? Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. That's Bible, right? So pay attention to your intuitive nudges and the opportunities and the synchronicities that come. I know that I am in the process of doing X, Y, and Z. We're not going to talk about it. That'll be a video that'll be uploaded when it's time to be uploaded. However, when I tell you them motherfucking synchronicities are on point every day, and that's how you know, that's how I know I'm headed in the right direction, because that's God let me know, good job, baby. Good job. You listened. And now this is what I told you to do. You did it. I'm proud of you. Keep going. Even when you get weak, even when you don't show up for yourself one day, you come back out the next day with them gloves off, ready to box, okay? Because I already told you, already showed you what you could have. I already told you what your life, I already showed you what your life looked like. You just got to trust the process and get there, okay? So you got to act on these signs, even if the steps seem small, right? Or unrelated, even if the shit don't make sense. You know why? Because he said he would give you the desires of your heart, right? I don't know why I'm here. I just feel like I'm in the right place at the right time. That's it. For the right moment. And I don't know what that is. I can't tell you. I don't know. So, meditation. The next thing you need to do is meditate, right? Even if it's for like 5 minutes, 5, 10, 15 minutes, right? Because let's be real. Some of us are busy. Some of us, you know, we don't have the discipline to where we get up before our alarm clock. So that way we get up right on time. And so we only have that couple minutes in order to meditate. But that's cool too, boo. That's cool too. Meditation allows you to access the quantum field and align your energy. Again, let's go back to the energy. Let's go back to frequency, because you got to stay in alignment in order to get what you want, okay? Allows your energy, that aligns your energy with your intention, okay? So how do you do this? You spend time in deep meditation and you imagine your desired outcome with emotional intensity. The emotion is key, baby. Before I moved into the house that I'm in now, I seen it. And I don't know where my book is at, but I have a book that I used for all things Florida before I was moving. Everything that I desire, everything that I needed to do was in that little book, and I carried it with me. Everything that came up. And so when it was time to house hunt right before, you know, I moved down, because one thing I realized is that I couldn't house hunt months in advance. You know what I'm saying? Because the houses that I was looking at probably wasn't going to be available for the time that I was meant or coming down, right? So when I tell you, I had pages and pages of houses that I had looked at through the Zillow app when I was preparing my move, and ones that were still available because I reached out like the day or two before, like a couple days before I actually came down to pick the house. But I'm telling you, I had visualized my house before I actually had it. Because you know, that's what you have to do. You have to see it, think it, feel it, and believe it, and then it becomes so, right? So we had, me and my girlfriends, they came down with me. Shout out to them. When we was pulling up to certain houses, it's a feeling. I just like knew, like, nah, this ain't it, but let's go inside. You know what I mean? Like, let's go inside. I think it might have been like the fifth house. I think it might have been like the fifth or sixth house that we seen in the house that I'm in now. When we came in, my spirit was like, this is it. Because this is what I had envisioned. This was what, and I didn't even know, because I had never had a house like this before. You know what I mean? With the open concept, I've always desired to have an open concept house. I absolutely love it. But physically, I had never seen it. But what I had to do was I had to put that shit on my vision board. I had to put everything that I envisioned on my vision board because I hadn't seen it with the reality that I was living in. I knew that in order for me to create, in the reality that I was creating, I had to physically see it. When we walked in, I knew it was mine. I'm on the phone. I had to call my kids, of course, because I needed their stamp of approval. I did that with, I think we've seen another house after this one. After that, I was like, all right, I'm good. Right. I love the setup. I love the fact that their rooms were kind of like on this part of the house, and the living room was the spaces, and I had my part. And then the bathroom is what sold it for me. But also like the open area, because I had a vision on how I wanted it to look, is also what sold it for me. It was just like, once I came in, I absolutely knew, okay, this is what I was creating. So, you have to, spending time, wait, was this where I was at? Okay. Meditation allows you to access the quantum field and align your energy with your intention. Like I said, how do you do that? You spend time in meditation, imagining your desired outcome with emotional intensity. So, with that being said, once I locked in on, first of all, before I even seen the house, I was already imagining again, because I was traveling, so I wasn't at home in front of my vision board, but I knew what I wanted it to look like. Plus, for me, one of the things I learned a couple years ago was making my home screen my vision board, because I had to physically see it. I got to see it, feel it, believe it, in order to believe it, in order to manifest it. So that's one thing that I did, but I would sit in that meditation with the intensity of, this thing is mine. Okay. So that's what you need to do. Also, referencing Mr. Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's got meditations that he uses. I don't use any of his meditations, but what I do is I love the interviews that he do on YouTube, right? And I just search up his name on YouTube and I go, even when I'm driving, even when I was driving, to a job that was so far away, and I was like, God damn, shit for the birds. Like, for me, I changed that drive, that long ass drive, the dreadfulness of that drive, and I would just pop on something that I needed to hear or that served me. I swear it felt like I was at work in 45 minutes, because you know what I mean? Like, in my mind, I'm creating a new reality. I'm creating a new reality, right? But he does offer books and meditations as well. So you can use Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations, such as tuning into new potentials and or blessings of the energy centers. Now, yesterday when I was listening to one of his programs, he was actually being interviewed. And apparently there's a movie called Source. I gotta see that. I have to see that, because I feel like it's in alignment with, who I am today. So, and then also another thing that you can do as far as your meditation, you can focus on becoming nobody, no time, no place. In this state, it connects you to infinite possibilities, right? So again, another one of the most important things that you can do is you always have to practice that gratitude before the manifestation. Why do you have to do this? Gratitude is a powerful state that signals to the quantum field that your dream is already realized, that you have already created what it is that you want. So again, like I said, how I get up in the morning, for the first 45 minutes, I'm sitting there. The first thing I do is I give gratitude for the things that I already have. You have to give gratitude, right, for the things that you're creating. One, because your subconscious mind, which is where you're planting them seeds in, which is what's going to align you and bring your desired reality into your current reality, and change your current reality, so that way you have a new reality, a new life. Your subconscious mind don't know what's real. That's why you also have to be careful with your self-talk. If you say, Oh, I'll never be able to do that. Like if I'm having a conversation with somebody and I'm telling them like, oh my God, I moved to Florida, it's the best decision of my life. This is what I want. And they're like, man, I would never be able to do that. Bitch, Lord, sorry. You would not be able to do it. You have to change your self-talk. You have to change the program and what you're telling yourself, because your subconscious mind don't know if it's just or even if you're joking like, oh, I'm fat. You're gonna be fat, because that's it. That's what you're going to create in your life, because your subconscious mind don't know what's real or what's fake or what's reality. So therefore, you can literally create the life that you desire by, again, telling your subconscious mind what you wanted to know, right? So, gratitude. Gratitude is a powerful state that signals to the quantum field that your dream is a reality. How do you do this? You begin each day by feeling grateful for your current blessings and the ones that are on the way. We talked about that, okay? So, and then you also can thank the universe, thank God, thank the quantum field, whatever it is that you give praise and honor to, whatever it is. Nothing is separate. I'm just saying, as evidenced by the fact that I was able to put scripture to a lot of what I'm talking about right now. Okay. So you got to thank it for the opportunity to grow and to become somebody else. Thank God that you are able to be in a position to create the life that you desire. You have to give thankfulness and be grateful for the life that you're creating, as if you are currently living in that state. Again, the subconscious mind don't know what's real and what's fake. Okay. Another thing you have to do is you have to be patient and you have to be consistent. Why do you have to do this? Because when you're manifesting from the quantum field, it takes time. It takes time for your reality to align with your energy. It's not going to happen overnight. Again, like I said, the fact that I am 40, and yes, I started not this work, but I started looking more towards like, okay, what can I do to change my life? I wasn't really happy with the life that I was living, with the way that I was thinking, with the actions that I was doing. What can I do to change this? Again, that was my old reality. That was my old program. And if I'm 40 years old, or if I'm starting at 30 years old, that's 30 years of that program being ran and being solidified, especially with the thoughts that you think. You have to literally, I'm gonna say this, because I don't think I have this in here. You got to stop telling the old story. You got to stop telling the story of how that person hurt you, or how this made you feel, especially if it's accompanied by emotion, because you're literally creating that same, your body, that same, you're literally enforcing that reality, that same thing to keep happening in your life. Your body, your mind don't know. If you're telling a story and you're like, yeah, that man hurt me, or God forbid, something happened where you were violated, or you were abused growing up, and you keep telling that story, your body don't know that shit happened years ago. When you're telling that story, your body is giving off, your mind, your brain is literally sending signals as if that is happening now, as if you are currently experiencing that now, which in turn is going to solidify and continue to bring to you those kind of experiences, right? Stop telling that old story. This is one of the things, I had to have a talk with even with my kids, like, things that happen, like, okay, well, I know that it did. I don't want to hear about it, because I don't accept that as my reality anymore. Not that, not that the fact that it didn't happen, but I don't want to feel those emotions, of what happened, because I don't want to keep creating the same thing, right? Same thing with being in an abusive relationship. I don't want to keep telling that story. Why? Because my body is constantly going to be living in fight or flight, right? Again, those emotions as if it is currently happening now. Okay. So like I said, you have to be patient and you have to be consistent in your journey in creating the new life. Okay. Why do you have to do this? Because manifesting, oh, I already said that, but manifesting, obviously, I have to say it again. Manifesting from the quantum field takes time as your reality aligns with your energy. You have to stay committed to your practices, even if you don't see the results immediately. I would say, honestly, for me, even for my move down in Florida, that shit was so, it was draining in a sense that it was just me having to take on the responsibility of uprooting and moving however many miles away. But it was so easy. It was so easy in the sense that everything literally just fell in line the way that it was supposed to fall in line. One of my girlfriends told me, she was like, I feel like you might not get to Florida the time that you feel like you're going to get to Florida, but the shit is happening. And for me, one, I needed to hear that because I'm such a Virgo. I'm like, no, it's got to be like this, right? But when I tell you, like, because, my relationship, with God and with Source, the relation, he knows like everything that was like the desires of my heart and what I was feeling. I'm just like, okay, I just want to have this. I just want to be able to do this. I just want to have this safety net, blah, blah, blah. I was going regardless. But the things that was needed in order for me to be able to move with peace, it's just something that, like I can't explain it, but for you to feel exactly what I felt, it's just priceless. Even down to the day after we drove down here, I got a call from an assignment, period, bitch. I got a call from an assignment for an assignment that I had applied for weeks in advance telling me you got the job. You know what I mean? Just so I wasn't technically supposed to start because I had a job before I moved, but I wasn't supposed to start that for a certain time. So even just that, excuse me, everything, it just fell completely in line. So, you have to stay committed even when you might not see the results. So I say all that to say that, okay, that part for me, it was so easy. And it was so, and plus I was in school trying to get my bachelor's, and but that part was hard because, I mean, after moving and shit like that, I was exhausted mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. So I had to take a little break. I got it, but I had to take a little break. But that part was easy. However, after that was, you're like, okay, I'm here. This is what I'm doing. This is what I want. Like, just knowing what I want, that part is taking time, right? Because I'm in my new reality, Oh, and then just like okay, but that never mind. I'm not gonna go off on a tangent. That's a whole nother story. When I finally came down to, this reality, baby, I had some adjusting to do mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially. But that's a whole other story, okay? So remember that consistency, remember that consistent energy shifts create momentum in the 3D world. So when you're consistent in your practice, when you're consistent in your knowing, when you're consistent in creating this reality, like I said, every day might be different. So I don't wake up positive all the time, although that is a trait that I have, and I'm happy for it. I don't know where it came from, but I am a positive Patty at heart, which could be to, a detriment if I allow it to be. even though I wake up positive most days, some days I'm just like, God damn, man, shit. Like, what the, like, where is it? Like, where is it happening? I'm watching stuff happen for this person, blah, blah, blah. Or I can speak something over this person and have the shit manifest in their life. And I'm just like, yeah, man, yeah. But not that I don't want that. But what about me? Where is mine? However, because of obviously the magnitude of what's being created, it's got to take a little bit more time. Okay. So it's got to take time in order for it to manifest into the 3D. Watch for synchronicities. Okay. Them synchronicities are real. That's how you know you're on the right path. So signs and synchronicities are evidence that your intention is manifesting. How do you do this? What are synchronicities and how do you even notice them when they come? Okay. Repeating numbers, chance encounters, or opportunities that align with your goals. Like I said, when I first moved down here, I kid you not, the very next day, that guy called like, yeah, you applied for this a couple weeks ago. Wait, he called, offered me the job, and then my recruiter called me to tell me that he was going to be calling. I don't know. It just worked out the way that it worked out. And it was obviously confirmation that I was exactly where I was supposed to be. Okay. So, again, repeating numbers, chance encounters, opportunities that align with your goals. Another thing, opportunities. Let me back up. Opportunities that align with your goals. When I tell you that everything for me before I moved down here just started falling in line, I had already had a job. However, like I said, I was just like, I just wanted, a little bit more in order to just for that security for me. I got a contract way out in West Virginia. And then like my recruiter had to talk me into going. I had to even call my bestie because I was like, which she had already said, I feel like you're going to be there, but it might not be the time that you feel like you need to be there. We had already had that conversation. We was already there. But in the conversation with my recruiter, he was like, and I was like, well, no, because I'm supposed to be in Florida. And he was like, well, when are you supposed to be in Florida? And I was like, in June. And he was like, well, what's stopping you from going a little later? And I was like, me. And I literally had to sit with that shit. I literally, like, it was an awakening for me because one, I was manifesting that, but I was not allowing myself to receive it. But I had manifested that. It was like, well, what's stopping you from going later? Like, what's stopping you from going at a later date? Then I had to call my girl because, I'm a Virgo and I always like confirmation. And she was like, didn't we have this conversation already? Is that what you want? Like, what's stopping you from going a little later? Like, we already talked about this, right? So it was just a confirmation I needed anyway. But that again comes with like the synchronicities, right? Of opportunities that will come up when you are in alignment. So again, you act on those signs as if you act on those synchronicities, you act on them signs because they are actually leading you closer towards what it is that you're manifesting, right? So, as we close up, I'm gonna leave you guys with a couple thoughts, right? Just, some information. You have to think of the quantum field as an ocean of energy and potential, right? And think of your thoughts as your emotions, and your actions are like the ripples you create when you're throwing in pebbles or seeds, right? When you constantly direct your energy, you are influencing the waves in the field and shaping how the reality unfolds in your life. And by understanding and interacting with that quantum field, you can become a conscious creator of your experience, a conscious creator of your life. You can literally create the life you desire. You can literally manipulate energy and manipulate, time to work in your favor. By understanding and interacting with the quantum field, you can become a conscious creator of your experiences, tapping into the infinite possibilities that exist beyond what you are currently living, right? So, to bring what you want from the quantum field into the 3D, you must think and grow rich. But you must think, and you definitely must feel what it is, because that feeling is what's going to create that energy, is what's going to create that momentum into grabbing and attracting. And you ain't got to go nowhere and and get shit, although you do have to act. We can't just faith without works is dead. You can't just sit on your ass and say gimme, gimme, gimme. No, you have to work, you have to move. When you get them nudges, you got to go. However, the feeling, you will literally bring everything that you want to you. That's where, when people say, I attract, I don't chase, that's what that means. What you chase runs from you. Okay. So you must think, feel, and act as if your desired reality already exists. Whatever you want, you have to be living in that now. You have to have that energy of it now. You literally have to be walking around every day as if what you want is already happened. And you have to be in that gratitude and giving thanks for it being so. Okay. This alignment between your intention and your elevated emotions and your inspired actions allows the quantum field to respond and to shape your physical reality. You have to stay patient and you have to trust that process. And then celebrate as your vision unfolds. Okay, you have to give gratitude and give graciousness as what you are creating unfolds into your reality, and don't let the fear stop you. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification button. And because there's going to be plenty more videos where this one came from. Okay, happy manifesting. I hope you have a good day. Boop, boop.